morning. My name is Larry Cain. I am one of the ruling elders at DCPC and currently the clerk of session. The session has been meeting a lot on Zoom during this pandemic, doing our best to partner with our outstanding staff as we seek to lead our church in its ministry and mission during this unusual year. You already know about our decision to reopen the church for in-person worship on May 23rd. We have also talked about and made decisions about other matters, including another one related to our worship life, and it has to do with our sanctuary, which has been in need of repairs for many years. The session has decided to do these repairs this spring and summer. To tell you more about that decision is Tom Clayton, Chair of the Finance Committee.
Larry has told you that we are embarking on some work to be done, and it's my job this morning to tell you about how we're going to pay for that. The first part of the project has to do with our HVAC system, and Martin Kerr will give you more details about that in just a moment. But this is quite an expensive project, and the session has approved our borrowing $600,000 from the bank to pay for that particular work. The second aspect of what we're doing now, and again, Martin will provide details, has to do with the painting, plastering, and so forth of the interior of our sanctuary. The session did not feel comfortable in increasing our debt at this time, so we voted to transfer $200,000 of our reserves in order to pay for that. But I will note that we still have sufficient reserves to handle any emergency that might arise. So when we are ready to return to in-person worship in our sanctuary, you will be pleased to find a freshly painted and refurbished sanctuary awaiting you.
I'm Martin Kerr, Chair of the Property Committee, and want to share with you some things about our sanctuary. I'm sitting here where I would normally sit on a Sunday morning at 11 o'clock worship, and it feels really different when it's empty. And I look around, I don't see the bald head in front of me, I don't have the person next to me cutting up. But when I do look around, I start to see a lot of things, and a lot of things that need to be done in this sanctuary. And the Property Committee and the session have been working on trying to take advantage of our virtual worship time to work on some of these things. Let me show them to you. I'm up here in the balcony now. If you look out this window right out here, it's something you may hear, and it's something you certainly feel, is the chiller for our air conditioning system. It was installed in the early 90s and has come to the end of its life. This past summer, it was unable to achieve enough cool air to cool this room and to dehumidify it, and we had to hire an engineer and a contractor to help us rig the system so that we could keep the humidity in check in here. The engineer finally told us that the only thing we can do regarding the HVAC and the chillers is to replace them. The session has approved for us to move forward to do that. Now I'm down at the transept on the west side of the sanctuary and want to show you some of the other things that you see in this empty room. Here's the woodwork where we have neglected and deferred maintenance for years. The paint is coming off the wall. We have all kinds of plaster, paint, woodwork issues that need to be addressed in here. The session approved for us to proceed with working on that while we are not worshiping in the room.
After months of hard work by the Property Committee and then the Finance Committee and ultimately by the session, the actual physical labor has already begun. People have been in the building taking out the old chillers for the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system. We have been working on moisture prevention and waterproofing, important pieces to make sure that some of our moisture issues don't happen again. Unfortunately, for a variety of reasons, the painting, the plastering, the woodwork cannot begin until early May. And what this means is that even when we return to in-person worship, we won't actually be in the sanctuary, that new, bright, shiny sanctuary of which Tom spoke. We won't be back in the sanctuary until the end of July, and we are sorry for that timing, but grateful that the session has taken on the hard task of getting this much needed work done. As Martin and Tom and Larry said, we have needed to do these repairs and renovations for quite some time. And now finally, we're utilizing some of the period we're out of the building to advance these important repairs. At the end of this video, I want to say thank you to you, the members and friends, for watching. And I want to say thank you to the leadership of our church. I've always said before the pandemic, I'm grateful to be Presbyterian, because that means there are elected members of the congregation who share in the leadership with the pastors. And all that we've done to be safe, and all that we're doing to make sure that our building is appropriate for the worship of God, it all happens because of faithful leaders like our property committee and our finance committee and our session. And so with that word of gratitude to them and to you, I thank you for watching this video.